another exciting episode of Simple Talks with me, Minol Dee. And on the show today, I have with me a gentleman who needs no introduction to our channel, of course, because he has been on the show with me some time back. But here we are, the one and only Ashok Ferrey, internationally acclaimed, multiple time award-winning author, I should say. From unmarriageable man, we come to something big. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
Ashok, now you are the brainchild behind the Ceylon Literary Festival. How did it come about?
Well, there was this period during COVID and for a couple of years before when there was nothing happening. And a lot of people approached me and said, come, let's do a festival, etc. And of course, it's like the 138 bus. You know, you wait for years and years and suddenly 3 come along. And so I'm delighted to say that we actually have 3 festivals going on now. And I'm very happy, We're doing, our festival is in Colombo and Kandy. So it's quite different from the golf festival or Colombo Scope. It's a slightly different emphasis.
Who's behind it? I mean, whose brainchild was it?
Well, I was approached by Ajay Singh of Colombo Fashion Week, and they have been running their Colombo Fashion Week for 15 years, whatever, and very professional. So that's why I sort of threw in my hat with them, because I do the creative content and I'm doing the intellectual part of it and inviting the authors, but everything else, all the other stuff is done by them. So
if I remember correctly, in my last episode with you, we touched a little bit about the Goa Literary Festival.
Yes.
How is this literary festival different from the Goa Literary Festival?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I'm delighted that the Goa Literary Festival is back up, and same with Colombo.
It's on right now.
It'll be on in a couple of weeks' time. It's just before us. It's at the end of January. We're in February. I'm delighted because you mustn't forget, Minol, that was also born in my dining room here. I was one of the original founder members of that festival. And Colombo Scope, I was the original curator of Colombo Scope. So they're all my babies. Although they've grown up and now walked out of the house. They're all my babies, and my new baby is the Ceylon Literary Festival. So I'm very happy that we're getting this huge, it's like Sri Lanka flexing its muscle, its literary muscle. You know, after 3 years of 3 dead years, for want of a better word, we're suddenly out there roaring with all these festivals, all these authors coming, and I'm delighted.
We're coming out guns blazing.
Guns blazing, all guns blazing.
So during this quiet period, we had the Easter bombings and then the Aragalaya and whatnot.
Yes.
So during this period, how was the literary scenario in Sri Lanka? Has it grown bigger? Has it gone down?
Well, I would actually go so far as to say it was non-existent.
Really?
In the sense that people had more serious things to do. We were protesting at Gorface Green. We were queuing for bread and petrol. I didn't queue for petrol because I had the world's smallest car, so I don't need petrol. I walk everywhere, as Minol knows. But everything else, we were cooking our rice on 3 bricks in the garden here. We were cutting down trees, using the branches for firewood. So that was our life. I remember one dark evening, a bread van came here and we literally hijacked somebody else's bread because we had 5 people to feed in the house, and whoever that lady was, lovely lady, she was I think Japanese, her name was on it. I said, I need that bread. I paid for it and I took the bread. So we had all that to contend with. So literature was the last thing on my mind. People say that you know, your writing reflects the mood of the country at the time. Well, frankly, we had too much going on for anyone to write. Nobody really wrote. They're writing now, but we weren't writing then. It was too serious.
And during which period you came out with the Unmarriageable Man as well?
Oh, that was actually some years back now, because don't forget that a book takes 4 or 5 years to write, and then another couple of years for people to edit and mess it up or whatever they do. But actually they didn't. They did a wonderful job. I had a really brilliant editor called Tarini Opal who worked wonders with it. So all that takes a long time. So that book was, it came about after the death of my mother and the grief that we all face when somebody dies, a loved one dies, and nothing prepares you for it. It's like a bus that knocks you sideways, and nobody tells you about it till it happens to you. And till it happens to you, it's like a rite of passage. You go through life thinking nothing can touch you, particularly when you're young. And then it hits you and you realize anything can touch you, anything can destroy you.
Yeah.
So-
From unmanageable man, we come to the Ceylon Literary Festival, the big one. So it's going to be happening in Kandy and in Colombo as
Kandy
well.
and Colombo, Kandy on the 8th and Kandy on the 8th and 9th of February, that's the Thursday and the Friday. And then 10th, 11th, 12th, which is the Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 10th, 11th, 12th of February in Colombo at the public library.
Ah, okay.
I was very keen to have it at the public library because it is accessible, it's approachable, it does not intimidate young people.
Yeah.
If we had it at a hotel, it would be a bit intimidating, you know. And the most important thing here is all young people, all O-level, A-level students and university students are free.
Oh,
You
okay.
just have
Right.
to register online. There'll be a link. Hopefully by tomorrow or day after there'll be a link.
Okay.
And then it's free. So
Right.
please come. If you're a student, just come. Sample it for half an hour. If you're bored, you can go. But if you're there, please stay.
You want to mention a couple of the sponsors that you have on board?
Yes, absolutely. We have HSBC who have been absolutely marvelous. I mean, it would not have been possible if Ajay had not spoken to HSBC and got them on board, because they are our main sponsor. But I have also got to mention the Goethe Institute, who right from the start promised us 3 authors, and the British Council, who've been absolutely wonderful, who've got us 2 authors, and who tried very, very hard to get us those authors. Who we invited many people because we didn't have a track record. It was somewhat difficult to get people to say yes, because you never know what does Ceylon mean. What is the Ceylon Festival? There was nothing on the internet about it. So it took a bit of persuading to get these people on board. But now that it's picked up a critical mass, it's wonderful. So I really have to mention the British Council and the Goethe Institute as 2 wonderful, absolutely wonderful sponsors.
We can mention a couple of authors who are coming down.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We have quite an eclectic group. William Dalrymple, who wrote The White Moguls and who's written a book called The Anarchy, one of the world's best loved historians. We have Sir David Hare, who is literally one of the world's greatest living playwrights. Catch him now, miss him at your peril. You know, I'm so proud that we've got him. We've got Nicole Fahy, who was a very famous designer. If you're too young, Minol, you won't remember French Connection.
No.
But for those of us old enough, French Connection was the thing. She headed that. Then she had her own label, Nicole Fahy, designing clothes in the West. For 3 years running, she was voted the best fashion designer in London. And now she's given all that up for a career in sculpting. So she's a sculptor now. She's a sculptor. So you've got her. We've got Geetanjali Shree, who's International Booker Prize winner. We have our own Shehan Karuna Tilaka, who is the Booker Prize winner. I'm pitting one against the other.
I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. With a very rude title, Who's Got the Bigger Booker?
So who's got the bigger booker?
Yes, or is your booker bigger than mine? So it's the whole thing is light-hearted, as you can tell by that title. I want literature to be fun. I want young people to come and be inspired and think that it's not some boring thing that you study for O-level or A-level. It's a fun thing that you pick up a book, you read it to enjoy it, and you have a good laugh with your friends about it. But we have lots of other topics. We have a topic on woke, because everybody has an opinion on are you woke or are you not woke, and it personally drives me crazy, but it's a topic that everyone needs to have some opinion. Then feminism in South Asia, because I feel we had the world's first woman prime minister. Where have we gone since then? We've gone nowhere.
Exactly.
There's almost no female representation in parliament. It's getting worse, worse every year. What's happened to us? So there's that. Then there's a panel on what else? AI, artificial intelligence. Are we writers going to be out of a job in 20 years? Already there are so many writers in the West whose work has been copied by AI and they can't prove it.
So ChatGPT now.
It's all exactly, but the authors can look and say, hang on a minute, that's how I would have said it.
Yeah.
There are 2 Sri Lankan authors, somebody was telling me, Naomi Munawira and Ru Freeman, who think that their work has been copied by AI.
Okay.
Luckily I'm not that famous, but it's a very, very risky business, this AI.
But Ashok, when it comes to AI and literature, what AI cannot put into this work is the human touch. Because I've seen a lot of articles written about it that they lose the human touch.
That's what you think now.
Yeah, maybe in 20 years.
Talk to me in 5 years.
Yeah,
It's going really fast. It's going really fast. So what they do is they take all your writing. Now everything is online.
Yeah.
All your writing, and they analyze it,
Yeah.
and then they rephrase. So they'll be writing Shakespeare next. You know, never mind Ashok Ferrey, it'll be
Ashok
Shakespeare.
Somebody will decide to copy Ashok Ferrey's whole work.
Yeah,
what he's been
yeah,
doing
yeah,
all throughout the
yeah.
work, and it's just there.
Watch out for the marriageable man next by AI.
There you go. Unmarriageable man.
The marriageable man.
Marriageable, just for a change.
Just for a change.
Right. You want to mention anything about the Ceylon Literary Festival?
Yes, yes. Well, as I said, students go free. It's at the public library
And
in
in
Colombo.
Kandy, where's the venue?
In Kandy, it's at the Hotel Swiss.
Okay.
At the hotel. Actually, the first day is at Trinity College. Second day at Hotel Swiss.
Okay.
So it's just a day and a half in Kandy, and 3 days in Colombo. Lots of authors, lots of interesting topics. The last topic is The Empire Strikes Back. It's about India. Friend or foe, India or China, you know?
Good question.
So it's a big panel, heavy hitting. I have Shobha Day flying in just for that panel. I have our own Palita Kohana, who was ambassador in China, arguing on the one side. Then I have William Dalrymple, who's actually studying it for a new book he's going to bring out. So it's a big panel. It's the last panel of the festival.
Right. So the big question: how much is the ticket? How can they buy?
Okay, so as I said, all students are free, and if you're an HSBC customer, you can bully your manager. Your
You mean a
bank
card
manager.
holder?
A card holder or whatever. I don't know. I don't own a credit card, so it's all mystery to me.
HSBC, there's one customer for you.
Yeah. I'm completely out of it. So at both ends, it's free.
Okay.
Very sadly, in the middle, it still costs money, and it's more than I would like, but I am not in charge of it. That is all the money boys. So it's 2,250 per session.
Okay.
However, if you buy a festival pass for 1 day, it's 10,000 rupees.
Okay.
So that is cheap in the sense that it's 1,000 odd per session.
Yeah.
But if you are under 30, just beg, borrow, or steal somebody's student card and get in there, because I want young people there. So it's the rest of us who get hammered.
Who get hammered.
Yeah.
Right. Final question. What can the people expect from the Ceylon Literary Festival going forward?
Well, this is the first of many, and I called it Ceylon Literary Festival on purpose because it is not restricted to Colombo or Kandy. We will have one in Jaffna, in Kurunagala, in Trincomalee. We will go all over the country because we're essentially taking a traveling carnival of writers to the provinces everywhere. Because when you're a young person, how can you afford to come from Kurunagala to Colombo and spend for lodgings for 3 days? You can't afford it. I couldn't afford it. In my years at the golf festival, I would say very happily, if they didn't pay me for my ticket, I would not go. I could not afford to go. So we were trying very hard to take this literature to these cities so that young people in those cities can see world-class authors on their doorstep.
On the doorstep.
Yeah.
So what's on the plate for you? What can the people expect from you personally?
For me, dead silence after this for the next 12 months because there's a book inside me which I need to write. And it's been there for now 2 years. I've not had the time. So hopefully I will start writing for serious as soon as the Literary Festival is over on the 12th.
Soon enough.
Yes, February 13th, I'm dead to the world. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
So you cannot expect something from Ashok Ferrey very soon?
Well, not very soon.
Yeah.
Sometime in the future.
So much, Ashok, for being
Not
on the
at all,
show.
Minol. Thank
And
you very much.
We'll catch
for
up
having
again
me.
before the Literary Festival.
Before the Literary Festival. Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for listening.